Well, I've been playing with this M57, and I thought I would talk a bit about the reloading. I've been trying these 85 grain Sierra, but like I say, I have my doubts because they're 308, though they seem to hit fairly well. But I had a problem yesterday. These are a soft nose, and I had problems with them feeding. About every half dozen rounds, one would catch on the feed ramp. That soft point would hit just right and it would jam. Now, I shot a lot of these with that 311 cast bullet, and they work perfectly fine. But the difference is, this cast bullet has got a real rounded nose on it. Now, the profile on this is much more pointed. So I think that's what's allowing it to stay down low, and then it hits on that feed ramp. So what I've done is I've set them back a little bit from what I had them yesterday, and I'll give them a try again. But they're actually, like the jacketed bullets load very easily. I'm using, these are Starline brass. You can get it from Graf & Sons, has got it in stock. And that's nice brass. But I'm using a Lee die set, and I would say if you're going to do it, go ahead and buy that crimp die, or you'll need it. The first ones I loaded, I didn't have the crimp die, and I learned pretty quickly I needed it because I screwed up about a dozen of them. It's a very short-necked little bullet. It's very easy to get the bullet in there cocked. That crimp die, I screwed up about a dozen of them before I got the crimp die, and then when the crimp die came, I went ahead and hit them with that, and it straightened out every one of them. So, if you're going to do it, go ahead and get the crimp die. And these I'm using, these cast ones I was using Bullseye. 4.1 grains of Bullseye, and that seems to work perfectly fine. Now these, I was going by the Lyman book. They recommended, a starting load of 5 grains of red dot. Well, it seems to work fine, but it just seems to me that red dot is a lot dirtier burning. I get a lot of, a lot of fire, a lot of crap flying out of the end of the barrel, so I think I'll probably go to Bullseye on these too. I tend to go to Bullseye on, I think, most of my pistols. I think all of them I'm shooting Bullseye in now. It seems to be a fairly clean burning powder. And it don't take a heck of a lot. But I am going to try these like I did yesterday. I'm down at my range, and I'm shooting at, I'm not shooting off the bench. What I did was to, my bench is actually at 110 yards. By moving out in front of it, I get to 100 yards. And this way I can keep track of my brass, because if I shoot from the bench, it goes in the bushes and I don't find it. This way I can find the brass. But I'll see if I can't hit that gong at that 100 yards. That's kind of gotten to be my standard. I figure if they're any good at all, I should be able to hit it. And I hit quite a few times yesterday, but like I say, I was having that problem with the jamming. But I always figure, I can hit with that little 1911-22 very consistently at 100 yards. So I should be able to do it with pretty near any of them. Though I am shooting right into the sun, right underneath it. That hit it. Okay, now see, there's the problem I had before. It's interesting. but it catches right where the saw point starts. You know, that's just a, you know, if you had a hard-nosed bullet, that wouldn't happen. But evidently setting them back ain't helping. So I might have to try, you know, I know Hornady makes a hollow point. I might have to try those, because I think they would be a little more rounded if that hollow point doesn't catch. But I think it's lower than that where it catches. Yeah, these hit all right, but I got to get that feed problem sorted out. Like I said, I set these back a little. I might actually try setting them forward a little. See if that makes a difference. But the lead ones, you can rattle them off. They never fail. That hit. So it ain't really a bad bullet. I just got to get it to feed decently. Though I could probably, yeah, there's another one, polish that feed ramp. Feed right on that soft point. Well, I guess I'll have to shoot these up now. Then I'll try moving them out. Well, that was a little low. And it isn't the magazines either. I mean, it does the same thing on both of them. But I think, you know, like I say, these that have a much more rounded profile, I haven't had one of them fail yet. And I'll probably be shooting mostly lead, but I do want, you know, the option of having some of the hard-nosed ones loaded up. Well, I'll run this. First one will be a jacketed bullet, then it'll go to the cast. A little bit high. No, I don't know what happened there. Well, I don't know what that was. I wonder if maybe it didn't cycle all the way back. So I think I can increase that load of bullseye. But that's the first one I've had a problem with the cast. Yeah, see, there it did it again. It evidently didn't have enough power to cycle all the way back, so it hooked. But I could up the bullseye on those. Because that's a pretty light load, and there is really no recoil. But these pointy devils are a problem. But I'll try loading them a little bit further out and see what happens then. get her sorted. Yep, another one of them exactly in that same spot. Yeah, it's very interesting. Well, it seems to be, you know, always about the same, like the third or fourth round down. But like I say, I'll get her sorted out. Just try it a little bit further out, and the cast loads, I'll just up the powder a little bit and see if they stay consistent.